What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video where today I want to talk about why I think the Indianapolis Colts can win the Super Bowl. And yes, you can tell behind me if you're just stopping in, not a Colts fan. Yes, I am a Colts fan. There's a little bias there. There's also a little part of me that is real and is realistic. Okay, I understand that we're in the league with Patrick Mahomes and that offense. I understand that we gonna have to go through Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in order to get to a Super Bowl. But in this video, we're going to talk about why I think it's possible for the Colts to get there and everything that entails. And of course, you're going to start just like you would with any football team with the quarterback, right? We have Anthony Richardson, our guy, AR, number 5 here. We have Anthony Richardson, and that being a dynamic quarterback is essential to being able to win a quarterback. And when you're trying to win a Super Bowl, you have to go through, again, guys like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Those guys are so dynamic and can do things with their legs, right? They can move with their legs. They can get it done throwing the ball. And that's what we saw in limited fashion with Anthony Richardson. And we saw him continue to take steps to get better even in that limited sample size. So going into this season, when you look at it, Anthony Richardson, as long as he's on the field, we have a chance, right? You look at what we were able to do last year. We almost made the playoffs with Gardner Minshew and Zach Moss being the 1-2 punch in the backfield for most of the season, right? Jonathan Taylor missed a decent chunk of time, obviously, at the beginning of the season, and then through the season missed a couple of games. And then you have AR, who misses pretty much the entire season, plays a couple games at the beginning of the season, and then he misses. So when you look at this year, the dynamic duo of Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor in the backfield and what that can do for the offense, right? You look at who the wide receivers are, all the tight ends we have, the way the offense works with Shane Steichen. We got 9 wins last year. I think with everything that we have, you add, Josh Downs coming into his second year. You add A.D. Mitchell as a rookie, Anthony Gould coming in to be a part of the offense. And what we have in the tight end room, I just think when you look at the Colts offense, we're going to be incredibly difficult to stop. And of course, injuries are going to happen to every team. As long as we can have, most of our guys be able to stay healthy for most of the year, we'll be in contention, right? We need AR to stay healthy. We need JT to stay healthy. Gonna need the receivers to stay healthy, and hopefully that's able to happen, right? Pitt needs to stay on the field. Hopefully AD is as advertised, and so far he looks like he's going to be as advertised. So I feel really good about our offense. It's really about the defense, right? Can the defense step up and make the plays? And so far, what we've seen in the preseason, the defense can get turnovers, and I think that's promising. You're able to give the ball back to your offense on short field, or just give your offense some extra possessions throughout the game, stopping the other team from being able to score. That's all we're going to need to do. This feels a lot like the Peyton era, right? Where in the Peyton era, it was we're just going to score, we're going to lead, and then hopefully the pass rush is going to be able to get home when you're trying to pass the ball to come back. Hopefully that's where we're at, right? And obviously you want the defense to be better, but that's what I'm sensing. I think that the defense is a lot of bend don't break. In this Gus Bradley scheme, it's about trying to make the offense take their time going down the field, try to make the offense make a mistake, and then we have the guys on the defense, right? We have Latu rushing the quarterback, Kenny Moore, good at reading and reacting, and had a good year last year. Looks like he's in line to have an All-Pro season this year. So I expect him to get a lot of turnovers, get some interceptions there, and force some fumbles. Overall, I just think the defense this year, at least so far from what I've seen, seems more opportunistic. Will it be perfect? No. But it's made to limit the big plays, so not a bunch of big plays from the defense, which again is really all we need. We just need the defense to be good enough that the offense, like last year with Gardner Minshew, offense put up 20 plus points, and I'm pretty sure 16 out of 17 games. And so coming in, and I think that the one game that we didn't score 20, we scored 19, I'm pretty sure. So coming into this year with AR, I really think that this offense can score 25 plus. I wouldn't be surprised if we score 30 points in 12 games this year. I think the offense can be really good. I think we're going to be really hard to stop as long as most of our guys stay healthy. It really comes down to the defense, and just making sure the defense isn't terrible, right? And I think there can be a regression to the mean. We had so many injuries last year, specifically in the secondary, right? The secondary is so young, but we had so many injuries in the secondary, so many question marks in the secondary, which is why there ended up being some of those big plays, right? You end up with that 3-game stretch where you have the Browns, the Saints. There was somebody else in there that I can't remember, but just letting up like 38 39 points to those teams week after week. Those are the things, like when I talk about the regression to the mean, like those will come down. We're going to force more turnover. We're going to get more consistent pressure. Getting sacks is cool. I don't care if we get 51 sacks again. I want more consistent pressure. I want that pressure rate to go from 11% to 20%, 22%, somewhere in that range, right? We have to be more effective getting after the passer. We can't let we play a lot of really good quarterbacks this year. We can't let these guys get 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds in the pocket. You just can't let it happen, which is why you go and get a guy like Latu with the 15th pick in the NFL draft. So adding him to what we're doing, even though Samson's already hurt, with Tyquan Lewis, Tommy Ade looks like he's taking the next step, being able to rush the passer from the inside of the defensive line, putting him next to DeForest Buckner on third down with Latu and Kwity Paye out there, Dio, or whoever it is, putting those speed packages out there on third down in obvious passing situations could work really well for the Colts. So, when you look at it, and I've said this plenty of times, if you haven't heard, I think the Colts could easily win 12 games this year. Looking at the schedule, looking at what they did last year with Gardner Minshew and Zach Moss, so many injuries last year. If we're able, of course, you need some luck to win a Super Bowl. That goes into it a lot. Need guys to just be able to take care of themselves. So at the end of the day, if the Colts can primarily stay healthy, a lot of the key guys stay healthy, and we're really able to start to make a run, then I think, of course, you're going to have to battle Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. They are looking to win their third title in a row. They got more explosive on offense. I think their offense is going to be much more dynamic this year than it was last season. And their defense last season was incredible. I don't really expect that to change. I know they lose L'Jarius Sneed, but they've lost corners before, right? Charvarius Ward was great for the Chiefs with Spagnuolo, and then he goes to San Francisco, and he's still great. But then the Chiefs' defense still great because of the coaching that's right there, right? Spagnuolo, maybe the best defensive coordinator in the NFL, and just continues to prove it year after year after year. So Chiefs going to be tough to overcome. The Ravens are going to be tough to overcome. I think Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, I want to watch Ravens games this year, watching those two operate in the backfield together, watching how teams are going to decide how do we stop this offense with those two. They also have Rashad Bateman. They have Zay Flowers, who I really liked coming into the league last year. He looked really good in his rookie season. I've heard that in training camp, him and Lamar just dominating, making it look easy. So he looks like he's taking that next step there. Baltimore is going to be tough. I think the Bills are actually going to be easier to beat this year. So from that aspect, like when we go into the playoffs, right? Assuming we get there, you're going to have the Chiefs. You're going to have the Bengals. You're going to have the Ravens. You're going to have the Texans. Possibly the Dolphins, who we play in the regular season. Like and obviously we played Texans twice also, but it's tough. The AFC is tough, right? And you could sit here and talk about a lot of these AFC teams. Hey, whoever comes out of the AFC, gonna win the Super Bowl. You wouldn't be crazy saying that. And so many of these AFC teams are stacked right now. Then when you do make it to the Super Bowl, can you beat the Niners? Right? Can you beat the Eagles if they're able to make it back there? Whoever comes out of the NFC, maybe it's the Packers. Seemingly, probably the Niners. They're stacked. They still got pretty much all the same guys. So that's what I'm assuming, right? It feels like it's going to be Chiefs Niners again. Can the Colts overcome all the obstacles to be able to get to the point of winning a Super Bowl? If you're going to do it, it's got to be, or your best chance is going to be while Anthony Richardson is on his rookie deal. So I think right now we have the team to be able to do it. I think we have the pieces. It's not perfect. Sure, we wish we had Quandre Diggs or Justin Simmons or whatever you might say. Nick Cross has looked pretty good in the preseason. Hopefully that can translate, and we can see that translate to the regular season. And Nick Cross, can prove us all wrong. We all wanted somebody else. Maybe he can come in. He can prove us that all along he was the guy that we needed at free safety. So we'll see what happens going forward. But I do think that the Colts should be a realistic, and people should take the Colts seriously as a realistic option to possibly win the Super Bowl. If you bet on the Colts, it's probably like plus 10,000, plus 13,000, I believe. The last time I saw, maybe plus 8,000. Incredible odds. And I understand why people will say they won't, right? Because this is the Chiefs league until it's not anymore. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are running shit. They do every year. So it's going to be tough to overcome that. But that's what everybody's fighting for this year, is to be able to make sure the Chiefs don't win a third straight Super Bowl. And I think the Colts are going to be the team that's able to do it, right? The Bengals were able to stop the Chiefs a couple years ago, but not since then. The Ravens and Lamar Jackson, like, just never been able to do it, especially in the playoffs. Josh Allen and the Bills unable to do it in the playoffs. So, who's going to be the one? Who's going to be the guy in the AFC that's going to contest Patrick Mahomes like that, right? We thought it was going to be Josh Allen, but every year when it comes playoff time, Josh Allen and the Bills just can't get it done, right? 13 seconds, right? That's what we all come back to. Josh Allen, it just can't happen for some reason. So maybe Anthony Richardson can be the guy that levels up, that comes up in the NFL, comes up in the AFC, and is able to stop the new dynasty going down in the NFL. I really think that Anthony Richardson can be special like that. It's just a matter of staying on the field, right? That's the only critique that people have of AR. Like, he's not perfect. He still needs to control his touch on the ball and get some more touch on the ball, stop overthrowing guys. But Anthony Richardson is an incredible quarterback. People just talk about him not being able to stay on the field. If he does that, I think we're going to be an incredible football team. And I think people are going to be talking different about us going into 2025 as long as Anthony Richardson stays on the field. So that's why I think we can win the Super Bowl. I think the offense is going to be incredible. Defense, I think, regression to the mean. I think we can be middle of the pack defense, which is all we need to be if we're scoring 25 to 30 points a game. So that's my thoughts. Of course, I want to know what you're thinking about all this. Do you think the Colts can make it to the Super Bowl? How do we get there? If not, why? You let me know your thoughts on all this down in the comment section. Of course, make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you continue to get notified anytime we have any more content dropping on this channel. Of course, appreciate you stopping by for another video. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.